as Warren often points out, you know, the solution to a disagreement, the Australian style of doing that is you disagree, you make up, and you go and have a beer together. I mean, you don't see that happening much anymore, do you? Anyway, let's try to work out who these racist people are. Have you noticed that your callers are ruder these days, or are we talking about a different demographic about who is behind all this?
Absolutely, yeah. I know. 2CC Breakfast listeners are incredibly polite. The ones that generally the rudeness comes via email or text message, because it's funny how people don't have the courage to actually front up and either face-to-face or on the phone, but they're happy to sit behind a keyboard and say whatever they like.
Well, speaking of your listeners, let's dive into some of the issues of the day. What's more important to your listeners, Stephen? Achieving net zero or transitioning to renewables?
I wouldn't have thought either, to be honest with you. If that's the choice, I don't think they're going to pick either. But obviously, look, it's a big issue here in Canberra because the ACT government likes to pretend that we operate on 100% renewable energy in the ACT. That's despite the fact we produce 5% of our own energy. The rest of it comes from across the border. 70% of that is produced by coal. So I don't know how you do that maths and come up with 100%. But apparently the ACT government and the Environment Minister told me this, Shane Rattenbury, that, you know, it's like, and I put the analogy to him, so you fill up a bathtub, you take a glass of water out of it and you can determine which molecules of water have gone into your glass. And he said, oh, well, I suppose when you put it like that, you know, I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. But, you know, we're going to ban petrol cars and we're going to, you know, we're putting in a new wireless tram that's going to have huge batteries in it that cost an absolute fortune. It's just the rubbish we carry on with it this way, and this is supposed to be the nation's capital. It does my head in on a daily basis, Fred.
Well, speaking of the government in Canberra, you had a particularly provocative or a rancorous conversation with the Chief Minister last week. What happened?
Yes, the Chief Minister handed down his 11th budget. He's also the Treasurer. In 11 years, never handed down a surplus budget. And when I put that to him, he got very, very upset. Because the ACT has decided to depart from what every other jurisdiction in Australia does, and they include their public service superannuation receipts in their bottom line, which made it look like he delivered two budget surpluses, which of course he didn't. Now the opposition down here are calling for an audit to say, well, hang on, where is all this money going? Now he's decided that calling for an audit means that they want to slash and burn and cut everything, and I put it to him, well, that's not necessarily true. We just want to know where the money's going. And he accused me of spinning out of control and told me that I am craziness. So now whenever anybody joins me on the show, I say, welcome to the craziness.
Well,
just extraordinary. But he's a bloke that has become so arrogant. The Labor Party's been in, well, the Labor Greens coalition's been in power here for 20 years now, and he doesn't believe that he should be subjected to any scrutiny whatsoever. No other media outlet puts him to the burners at any stage, any time. So I was surprised that he agreed to come on the program, and then when he did get some hard questioning, he didn't like it very much.